from Bliss Salon and Spa located in Kennewick, Washington. I've been doing hair for 15 years. I'm 34 years old.
That's what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it.
Auditioning to be a Redken artist to inspire and help others grow.
Not looking back, eyes on the freeway.
I actively volunteer at our 2 local beauty schools. I enjoy watching the growth of our future professionals.
A classic cliche, we're on the run. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free.
I own 2 salons with 16 stylists, 2 assistants. I'm happily married, and my husband is a licensed barber. My name is Sheena from Bliss Salon and Spa here in Kennewick, Washington. Today, I'm going to be teaching an express foiling technique that will be really great to use in between your full foils and then do an express 6 to 8 weeks later to get the longevity for the client and to keep healthy hair results. You will begin your service with using pre-art, leaving it on for 5 to 10 minutes. This will remove any buildup that is on the hair, allowing the product to work at its full capacity. Today, we will be needing a color ball, a wisp, 4 clips, a blur brush, a Redken long brush. We also have a measuring cup, flash lift with bonder inside to ensure the integrity of the hair, and 30 volume with your foils, and a foiling comb. I'm using 30 volume today because I'm using mannequin hair and she has very warm hair, and I want to be able to show and deliver results for you. On a normal client who has lighter hair, you're going to want to start with 20 volume. So we are going to start by mixing our product. We're going to use 1 ounce, which these caps are really handy. They have little measurings. And then we're going to do 1 ounce of our 30 volume. So it's 1 to 1. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix it. So I have it mixed to a very nice fluffy consistency. Now we're going to section our mannequin. We are going to work in 4 sections. We have section 1 at the top, sectioning wide with her in her temples, and it's going to take a triangle pattern all the way back to the top of the crown. Then we're going to do section 2, which is on the side. We're going to take from the crown to the back of the ear. And we're going to do the same on our section 3, from the top of the crown to the back of the ear. And then we're going to take the back, we're going to get it out of our way. Now for the exciting part. This is the express technique that we're going to be doing today. My client today wants a money piece in the front. She wants it soft when she pulls it back in a ponytail. But the trick to this process is that we don't want like a headband as a money piece. We want that transition to be really gradual to the back, creating a really lived-in color in the crown area. Okay, are you ready? Let's start our process. We have our mannequin foil, her hair has been pre-treated, we have our high lift mix, and we're gonna start in section 1. Now I like to stand in front of the client when I am doing the front section. Taking my first section down, I'm making sure that I can read a tick-tock underneath my section, and I'm also gonna break this up into 2 sections. This is ensuring that I'm not gonna get drag from the sides, and I'm gonna get full saturation all the way up to the scalp. First foil done. How beautiful is that? We're gonna move on to our second foil. super bold money piece, but I definitely want it noticeable. So how many slices you do back, that's where you get to be creative. So depending on how thick you do want that money piece is how many slices you're gonna do until you get to the next step in our process, which I'll explain here shortly. So I'm back to my next foil. This is your opportunity to be creative, depending on how thick you want that money piece in the front. Whether you do 2 foils, whether you do 3 foils, that is something that you would discuss in your consultation with your client on how bold of a money piece she's desiring. And I am ensuring that I'm having good saturation all the way through, ensuring I get good, consistent lift. Now, personally, I believe that the first 2 sections, being a money piece, is going to be bold enough for my client due to not having as much hair. This is where the fun comes in. So today I'm choosing to do 2 rows of slices. And the reason why I'm doing this is because my client doesn't have an abundant amount of hair. So 2 slices is going to make her piece pretty bold. So on our third sectioning, we're gonna turn around and we're gonna weave this. We're not micro weaving, we're just regular weaving. Now I'm gonna take this section with the most hair. So at this point, I am right here. Now what I'm gonna do with this section is I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna give it just a little bit of back combing. Now what this is going to do is it's slowly gonna move off of that root line and eventually creating softness going from the bold money piece all the way back to the crown. I want to ensure that all my back combing is up at the root. Now I personally like applying my high lift where we transition into zone 2. The reason why I enjoy doing that is because you have full saturation when you do your first swipe of product. And so that allows me to feather my product all the way up to the top rather than having this saturation band and creating lines in my foiling. And then my special tool, I love to use my blur brush. This really helps go in here, soften the line. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm going to weave. And rather than taking the hair with the most, this time I'm gonna take the hair with the least amount of hair. And I'm going to back comb it just a little bit more than my previous foil. Taking my comb, ensuring that no back combing is sliding down where my high lift will get tangled up in it. Again, I'm applying the most saturation right where zone 2 roughly starts. Wrapping those ends up, and then I'm going to feather this all the way up. And again, when I use my blur brush, amazing tool. Definitely have to take advantage of all of your tools to be able to deliver flawless results. As I go back, I'm going to keep out this time roughly a quarter of an inch in between my next foil because I want that slow transition. I'm not looking at creating a solid blonde on the top. I'm looking at updating, touching up my money piece, and having that slow express technique to get my client onto her next full foil. When I go in here, I'm gonna weave. And now on this third foil, I'm gonna back comb even more than my previous foil. wider. My hair that I'm leaving in between my sections are getting thicker as well, because we are trying to create that lived-in color towards the crown. And guess what? We're gonna backcomb this foil more than we backcomb the foil in the front. Okay, so we're to our next one. We're gonna weave it again. And guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna backcomb even more than we did in the foil previous to it. Now I'm back here at the crown. This part is really important because you want it super soft, but you want to be able to bring the two sections and bring it all together where it's a very nice settle transition. So right here, I'm just I'm gonna take the V of my triangle and I'll hold that out. And I'm just gonna go here, and this is gonna be a very soft baby light with some back combing. So I did a micro stitch because we do fight the calyx right in this area, so it will just let it slowly transition out and blend nicely. And there you have it. We are done with our section 1. Let's move on to section 2. Okay, so now we're starting on section 2. We want to create softness around that face, so when she pulls it back in a ponytail, she doesn't have a hard demarcation line. When I go in here, I'm gonna weave this. Then I'm gonna take my backcombing and I'm gonna softly backcomb that. Backcombing is going to lift it off of the root, creating a really soft transition. In a horizontal back, which is going to create softness around the face, ensuring that we don't have any harsh demarcation lines. Now remember, this is only an express foiling technique, so I'm probably only going to do about 3 on the sides, 3 foils on the sides. Just backcombing it, creating softness. We're going to do our third foil on the side with the horizontal back. Perfect, so we have our 3 foils on the side. We have our top section done, so let's move on to section 3. So we've completed our first section, our second section. Now we're gonna move on to our third section. We're gonna do horizontal back partings, which is gonna create softness around the face and eliminating any harsh demarcation lines. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna weave this section. And then we're gonna turn around and backcomb it softly. We can see a TikTok through our section. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna weave it. It is as wide as the peace sign. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna backcomb it to create softness. Again, we are working on a horizontal back patterns. There you have it. We have our express technique. So let's have a refresher on exactly what we did. So we have 2 rows of slicing in the front. Then we went to our third row where we weaved it, took the heavier foil, backcombed it, and then as we did that as we went back to the top of the crown, but every foil we did, we ended up backcombing more. Then we went to the sides for our sections 2 and our section 3. Now we have to remember, it's just an express foil. So we're just gonna work with the hairline, and we weaved horizontal back to create softness. we backcombed the root to create softness where there's not a hard demarcation line where that high lift ends up. So now we're gonna let her process for roughly 40 to 45 minutes, and then we'll see our results. Okay, so we finished our mannequin. She's all rinsed out. And then I went in there and I toned her with Shades EQ. I used 09P and 10N. I wanted to be able to have the N in there as the neutral beige background. And then I used the P series to counteract the unwanted warm tones of the orange and the yellows that pull through on these mannequins. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna style. Today we're gonna use One United, which has 25 benefits. It should be used on every client prior to blow drying their hair. It has heat protectant in it, helps with frizz, and it's just an overall great product to use when you start your style. Then I'm gonna use our quick blow dry as a good primer, and it smells so good. I'm gonna turn around, we're gonna use Guts at the root to get some volume in there, and then we're gonna blow dry, we're gonna finish it out with some curls, and we'll go in with our outshine to help our frizz at the ends, and we're gonna use our Wax Blast to go in there and piece the look out. Okay, so here is our results. How fabulous does she look? So we have that really nice money piece in the front, and we're having it gradually go back. So everything has a very natural look, creating a soft blend all the way to the back where there's more of a lived in color. So after we were done toning, we did a acidic bonding salon prescription, which is really great because we know she's coming back for a full foil. So we want to make sure that we keep the integrity of the hair. We did that. And then I am also going to recommend that she takes home the acidic bonding shampoo and conditioner. Her hair will be nice, healthy. It'll be strong for our next service when we go ahead and do our full foil.
Cause I feel so